I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBN, we're exploring a tender and timely story. It is called Little Chick's New Home, and it's written by a terrific author. Her name is Mindy Kasten. This beautifully illustrated children's book teaches kids empathy, inclusion, and kindness as a little chick searches for a place to belong on the farm. Through charming animal characters and a heartfelt journey, young readers learn what it truly means to be welcomed, accepted, and love. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her on TV today. We ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her beautiful book. The links are below this interview. Mindy, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Let's talk a little bit about the inspiration to write Little Chick's New Home. How did you come up with the idea?
It came to me actually in the middle of the night. I had a young foster daughter in her teens that was really struggling to find her place at that time. And we had been praying really, really hard for her. And unlike other things I have written where I've had to go back and kind of add a little bit each day as new ideas came, this one came about 2:30 in the morning. All at once, I wrote it down with zero revisions.
Wow. Is this your first children's book or have you written others?
It is the first one I have published. I do have a few more written, ready to have illustrated, but this is the first one I've attempted to publish. Yes.
And the foster daughter who inspired the story, have you shared it with her? Was she thrilled to see that you came up with a little story for her?
Oh, yes. She was the first one to get to see it. My oldest daughter illustrated it, and we kind of kept it um, under wraps until it was actually published. And then my daughter that it was written for she got the first copy. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it's great that it's a family affair. Collaborating with your other daughter as the illustrator must have been fun. Tell us about that.
Well, she's always drawn a lot since she was little. And when I first started looking into illustrators, I really didn't know where to look.
Mhm.
And then I remembered how much she had enjoyed drawing, and the story was personal for her too, because of the connection with her sister. And so I asked her if she'd be interested, and she started doing the drawings, and it just worked out perfect. There was very, very little revisions that had to be done because what she came up with matched what I had envisioned. So it worked out very well.
Oh, it's great. It's great that you guys were both on the same page, literally, for this creation, without a doubt. Let's give the folks at home a little bit of an overview of the story.
So the overview would be a little chick has lost her way. She's trying to find someone to stay with. And as she goes onto the farm and encounters different animals and asks to stay with them, they all reject her because she does not look the same as them or act the same as them. And so as she goes on and it's getting late, she's starting to get scared and she finds the shepherd of the farm, Shiloh Shepherd, who is the German shepherd. And he takes her in and explains to her that it's not about what we look like or if we act the same, but how we treat each other and that we all make each other feel welcome.
Wonderful. Well, that's a great message for children to learn that we might look different, but we're all basically the same inside. I guess that's kind of one of the morals that you wanted the children to take away from this book, right?
Yes, I want every child to read it to know that they have value no matter what. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've been through, what your background is, what you look like. Every child has value. And that is my hope is that every child that reads this gets that message.
Wonderful. Well, it's an important message. So hopefully a lot of children do read this book either independently or with their parents because it is a beautiful and important message. Have you envisioned this as a animated feature on Disney or Hulu or one of the streaming networks or whatever?
As dreams, yes, I would. I have the next book that goes along with it. If I'm able to publish that, will bring her brother into the story. and some things that he went through and how he overcame as well. And it would be really nice to see them. It reminds me of the favorite one we used to watch when my daughter was little was Little Bear, and it had such good inspirational messages. So yes, something like that would be an amazing dream come true.
Hey, great. So Hollywood, if you're listening, here's a great story that's ready to go on the small screen or the big screen. It's a terrific story. Tell us a little bit about the second book. It's a kind of a sequel because now her brother is joining her, right?
Yes. So when he came to stay with us, he was very hesitant to smile.
Hmm.
He had been made fun of, and every time we went to take family pictures, it was a negative experience. It did not turn out very well because he had such anxiety about it. And I will never forget, he came home in eighth grade and he came in and he said, Mom, look. And he hands me his school pictures. And the most genuine smile was on his school pictures. And so the second book is called Rocky Finds His Smile. And
Great.
and the character in that one is a raccoon.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about your life as a foster mom.
It was amazing. We were hesitant to begin with. You hear so many negative things,
Hmm.
but in our case, it was not that way. We took a sibling set, brother and sister, had them for several years, thought we were going to adopt,
Hmm.
and their biological father was located in Mexico in the meantime.
Hmm.
And he said he did want to be involved in their lives. It took him 2 years to come over here legally. He called every week during those 2 years while we waited. Came over here, was a very wonderful man, was very appreciative of the home that we had given them. And he just became part of the family too. So now here we are 10 years later, and actually 12 years later, he comes to all of our family get togethers, Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthday parties. He is just another grandfather to my grandchildren. So we have become a very blended family, and it was just because everybody involved was selfless and tried to do what was best for the kids. And in the meantime, we just became a very uniquely blended family.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And how old were the children when you first brought them into your home?
They were 5 and 7,
Gotcha. And now they're how old? They're
19 and 21.
wow. Time flies, right?
Yes.
And do they still live with you, kind of live with you, live with him? How does that work?
They still live in Chanute in this area. One is in
Mhm.
college in Hollister, Missouri. The other one is actually the youngest one, who the book is written about, is getting married in August. So, yeah, we're all still right here.
Awesome. Well, that's great. That's a beautiful, beautiful story. I think that could be another story, maybe a true life story, a little memoir about your life with these wonderful foster children and how you basically help them reunite with their biological dad, which is wonderful and happens sometimes all too rarely. So that's great. That's a great story. And I think that would be also the making of a great movie or TV series or something, because, like you said, there's a lot of misconceptions about foster care.
There is. There is, yes. And I know it's not perfect, but it's very rewarding. And I think if everybody does the best they can and goes into it with the idea of none of us are perfect, give grace, and that overcoming trauma takes time, it can be very, very successful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Patience, love, and embracing nature go a long way in helping people who've had a less than perfect start in many
Yes.
circumstances. Stances. Um, this book circles around or centers around animal characters. Are animals a big part of your life as well?
Yes, we live on 32 acres.
Mhm.
We do have some animals. We've always had German shepherds. Um, that's kind of always been our dog of choice. We
Mhm.
have one now. We had one when we took the kids in, and I kind of wanted that to represent the German shepherd of the farm is the keeper of the farm, but also the shepherd of life. So, like our heavenly shepherd. I wanted to be able to tie that together where that message was in there, but not so overwhelming that the book would not be allowed in public schools or places like that. So that's where the farm animals came from, was our home life, and all kids, little, from being a teacher, all little kids like farm animals.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it was,
They really awaken, they really spark to life when there's an animal involved. So I think that was a great choice as a teaching tool, no doubt. And certainly animals are loving and kind and empathetic. So I think that's another characteristic or other characteristics that are well explored in your book. Have you had the opportunity to share this story in classrooms or during story times or anything like that?
yes. So I did go to our public schools here and read at the elementary school and the preschool, and made sure that the teachers all got a copy of the book to keep in their classroom. And the kids really seemed to enjoy it. The teachers, surprisingly, some of them got teary eyed as well. It was interesting to see some adults respond to the book as well as the kids. So I think the message goes from preschool all the way up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's kind of a great reward of creating this book when you see a teacher's eyes brimming with tears because they're touched by your message, right?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful work on this book by both you and your daughter, who is the illustrator. The name of the book is Little Chick's New Home. It is a sweet story about compassion, courage, and community. Mindy, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you again for having me.
My pleasure. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford for the Global Book Network. So long for now.